welcome to my channel, Who's Outdoor 1969. Today's video, I'm going to go over, and you have a speech impediment, go over my 308 here. It's a Palmetto State Armory, upper and lower. Bought the upper as a blim. I'm not exactly sure what the blim was. One that I can think of was possibly on the bolt carrier, the gas key, not gas key, gas seals, the little ring that's on the tail end of it. Those didn't seem to fit, so I ended up hijacking from a different rifle or a different bolt, because I had to swap out a bolt in one of my other rifles. Put them gas seals on here, and I haven't had any other issues with it. The lower, just their standard, I think it's the Gen 1 lower. I actually forgot I had it. Was it this lower? No, it was a different lower. I bought this lower before I bought the upper, because I had these lowers on sale, so I ended up buying a couple of them. And the upper for my 240, or lower for my 243, I forgot I had. But anyways, I said it's a PSA assembly. Came with a standard mil-spec trigger, which if you've ever squeezed a mil-spec trigger, you know they're meant to function. That's pretty much the extent of it. So I put in their match style two-stage trigger. I don't think I have any special springs in this. I think it's just the springs that came with it. Trigger's not bad. It's not a true match trigger, but the pull on it's consistent. You got a super light first stage, and then once you hit that wall, it's like 4 pounds. It's not crazy heavy. I know when I first put it in, even after I put the grease on it, it was kind of gritty, crunchy, whatever you want to call it. After getting it, probably 100 rounds to it, it actually smoothed itself out. Like I said, it's definitely not, a Timney, a Geisley, or anything like that, but it is adequate for just about any rifle. I actually like it enough that I have it in a lot of my AR platform rifles, whether it be the 15 or the 10. I've gone through several different scopes trying to find who, what, and where, because I couldn't decide what the hell I wanted to do with it. But I think I finally settled on what I'm going to do. This scope rail I got off of Amazon. It's a 30mm scope rail. The scope itself is a SwampFox. I believe it's the Gorilla Dot BDC. It's a 1:6, and I think 28mm objective, because the tube's a 30. Second focal plane. Actually, I have made one modification, or two modifications to it. The gas block, I changed that to an adjustable gas block, because when I got it, I noticed it was throwing rounds forward when it would eject instead of off to the side, like 4 o'clock. It was slinging at about 1 o'clock. Put the adjustable gas block on there, and now it's good, nice, consistent 3 to 4 o'clock ejection. And then I got rid of the bird cage and put this muzzle brake that I've had for a while. So it's been on a few different rifles on here. I mean, I've had it long enough. I think I got it from JSE Surplus, but I'm not 100% sure. It came with the standard collapsible butt stock that I didn't like. So I found a deal on a Luth AR collapsible butt stock. And if you're observant, you'll see I've got it modified, because I drilled out and ran a bolt through it to help take out some of the slop that's in here, because there is a lot of slop in this stock. Now it actually fits pretty tight. I can still move it in and out. I think it's a 6 position. I don't remember for sure. It's either 5 or 6. I just drew a blank on where I was going. I went from an A2 to a Magpul MAID, or just a standard, let me look here, MOE pistol grip. Didn't want anything special for it. I use Magpul mags. Let's see. I mean, me personally, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with plastic mags. That stems from way back when ARs first started becoming popular. I had an AR-15, and everybody at the time when I had that swore by Orlite. So I got an Orlite mag, and it didn't last very long. I ended up swapping a friend for a GI mag, and like I said, this was an AR-15. I don't have a sling for it because I'm still undecided on that. I'm not completely done with it, so I'm not super happy with this. So I know I'm still going to change the buttstock. The scope seems to be pretty decent. It's MOA adjust, but being a BDC style, once you got it adjusted, you shouldn't have to mess with it. You can use just your holdovers. Lighted reticle. One nice thing about it with the lighted reticle, put this over here real quick, is because this is the control for the light, each setting has an off in between. It's 12 brightness settings. Let me look here real quick. Yeah, 12 brightness settings and 2 night vision settings. Like I said, in between each setting is an off position. So which is, to me, is a nice little feature. Then that way you don't have to keep spinning through to turn it off and then spin it back to where you got it set at. Once you get the brightness setting that you like, you just either flip forward one or back one. You just have to remember what direction you went to turn it back on. But either way, if you go the wrong direction, it's not going to be a huge difference. I'm blind, so I usually have it fairly bright. But I try and balance that with, not blinding myself if I'm looking when it's in low light conditions. Charging handle is an ambi charging handle. I got that from Gorilla Machine. If I don't forget, I will try and put a description of everything that I got on here in the description for this video. This is standard 90-degree throw safety. One thing I have noticed on because all my AR10s are Palmetto State Armory lowers, with the Magpul magazines, depending so I think I got the first and second gen, I've had to modify the magazines. If I had a magazine with me, I could show you what I did. But I think Magpul may have made the modifications themselves to make it a lot more cross-compatible to different manufacturers. But mine, when you insert it and it gets to the mag catch, there's like a spot where they've got like a rib that goes all the way around it. On this side, basically the trigger side of the back rib, I had to use my Dremel and basically file notches in it to make sure it would clear whatever it was hitting on the inside. I don't think I had that problem with this one, but I know on the first one I put together, which is my 260, I had that issue, and YouTube came through for me and showed me what it was they had to do, and as soon as I did it, I didn't have any more issues with them. So if you use Magpul magazines, you may have to do a slight modification. I will actually take a picture of one of my mags so you can see the modification I'm talking about. Like again, it's something inside here on the trigger side that it was hitting. I mean, if you smack it hard enough, you could get it to seat, but if you didn't smack it hard enough, it wasn't going to seat. So you'd start getting, either the magazine would fall out or you'd start getting some failure to feeds. Anyways, the bolt carrier and the bolt are, hang on. Sure, now you're going to make a lawyer out of me. I think they're, what's that? Nitride coated, I think, because the carrier itself is pretty easy to clean up, and I think the bolt's standard phosphate finish. I do believe this one is high pressure and magnetic inspected. Don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to take it apart because I haven't cleaned it since the last time I shot it. So I know the bolt and carrier is going to be pretty dirty. Cosmetically, the only thing I can see that really kind of bugs me is right where the beaver tail here is. doesn't match the receiver very well. I mean, I could probably make it match if I do a little filing on this part of the grip, but I don't know. I see it, but there's no flux in the handle, so I'm not too overly concerned about it. But it does kind of bother me a little bit. The barrel is Palmetto State Armory, 1 in 10 twist, 18-inch. It seems to be a decent barrel. I really haven't sat down to try and do any groups with it. I mainly got it as kind of a blasting rifle. So, but I've ran it out to 600 yards before with different scopes and never had an issue hitting out, making hits out to 600. I don't remember the brand of the scope base. I'll have to find the box. But I know on the top rings it looks like a V. Like I said, I got it off of Amazon, so I can go through my history and find it. So far, the scope itself I like. I don't have a lot of trigger time behind it, but what I have gotten behind it, it seems to be pretty accurate. The ammo that I've been using, like I said, it's just full metal jackets. Like, kind of looked in the book, did a little research, find out what Uncle Sam loads their ammo at for their full metal jackets. So I just kind of, okay, that looks good, and I just cranked them out. So it's not super consistent like match ammo, but it seems to hold pretty true. The zeroing on this was actually pretty simple. You're supposed to zero it at 50 yards, and then at 50 yards, that's what was it, 25? I believe it's 50 yards. Once you got it zeroed at 50, it covers you from 50 all the way out to 200. And then once you go past 200, then you start getting into the BDC part. Let's see. The stock's supposed to have quick release. But I don't know if there's something missing or what. This is supposed to be quick release, which does work, but there's no anti-rotation. So when I put a sling on it, I will probably get an M-lock mount for quick release. And then whatever stock I put on here should have a spot for a sling. I didn't make any notes, so I'm trying to look and think at the same time. The handguard is Palmetto State Armory's version of the M-lock. It seems to be pretty accurate because I've got different M-lock accessories that I have put on here. You got the stubby pick reel up front, and a little stubby right here for the handguard, and then you got the built-in pick on the top here. Forward assist, which I've never had to use. Let's see, look on this side. I think I have measured the pull weight on this. I think total pull is it's like 4 pounds, between 4 to 4.5 pounds, which I think is what PSA advertises it for. I could be wrong, but going back to the scope mount. The scope mount is called AIMPACT, AIMPACT. It wasn't a super expensive scope mount. I think it was like $35 for one piece. But overall, it's been actually a pretty good rifle for me. I really haven't had any issues out of it. Most of the issues I've had has been self-induced or ammo-induced due to operator. And the only flaw, I guess you could say offhand, was it was overgassed. But other than that, once I got the gas system taken care of, I like muzzle brakes. I don't like the A2, at least not on big or heavier rifles. I don't like the A2. I put the muzzle brake on it, which made it that much more pleasant to shoot. Not that 308 has a lot of recoil anyways. Let's see, I think I have maybe 1,000 rounds through it so far. As I'll shoot it, then I won't see it for 6 months, then I might take it out and shoot it again, not see it for 8 months. So the stock itself, like I said, my little redneck fix here keeps the rattle down. I mean, there's a little bit of play in it, but without that, it's actually I don't know if you can hear it, but it was way worse than that. And ow, I break a fingernail. And then once I put this bolt through it, it tightened it up to what it is now. I mean, like I said, there is some play to it, obviously, so you can move it, but not like it was. Overall, like I said, it's been a pretty good rifle so far. I had a few minor issues, nothing major. Anyways, enough of my rambling. If you have questions, put them in the comment. I'll try and answer them. But anyways, I would appreciate it if you'd like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching my video. And until next time, have a good one.